Mary Duell. Mary Duell, a trailblazer in Victorian cartooning. Mary Duell, born Isabella, 1847, was a pioneering figure in Victorian-era British cartooning, best known for her vibrant and comedic illustration of the popular character Alice Sloper. Despite her work being groundbreaking for its time, she remained relatively obscure for many years, overshadowed by male counterparts in the male dominated world of comic illustration. However, in recent years, Dowell's contribution to the comic art have been increasingly recognized, marking her as one of the first permanent female cartoonists in history. Mary Dwell's early life is somewhat surrounded in mystery. Thought it is known that she was born in France, possibly from Paris, to a family of performers. In her youth, she migrated to England, where she began working as an actress in various London theatres. It was during this time that she adopted the stage name Mary's Duel, a name she would continue to use in her artistic career. Her involvement in the theatrical world, where visual humor was a key element of entertainment, likely influenced her transition to illustration. The London theatre scene was a vibrant space filled with satire, slapstick, and character, which become hallmarks of Doyle's later artistic output, while her acting career never reached great heights. Her experience in this sphere provided a foundation for her later work in humor and character. Duell's most significant contribution to British cartooning was her work on Alice Sloper, one of the earliest recovering characters in comics history, created by Charles Henry Rose, a writer and editor at Judy, a satirical magazine. Alice Sloper was a architectural figure of the lazy David Aberdeen working class man who would go to any lengths to avoid paying his dues. The character was a hit with Victorian audience, and Duell was soon recruited to illustrate his Easy Captain. Beginning in the 1860s, Duell brought Alice Sloper to life with her unique artistic style. She depicted him with exaggerated features, a bulbous nose, a ruddy face, and a comically large top that all of which become defining characteristic of the character. Duell's illustrations were packed with energy, using dynamic line work and expressive face that perfectly captured the slapstick and the metaphorical nature of the stories. What set her work apart from others was her ability to balance humor with a subtle commentary on the struggles of working class life. While Alice Loper was a buffoon, his attempts to navigate the tricky world of Victorian economics reflected the reality for many lower class Britons. He became a lovable rogue and the popularity soared thanks in large part of Duval's skillful rendering of his mishaps. Meridio's artistic style was innovative for the time, escaping the more formal, refined approach of her contemporaries in favor of a looser, more spontaneous techniques. Her drawing were often filled with frenetic energy, employing exaggerated lines and expressions that made her characters pop off the page. This dynamic style was well studied to the chaotic world of Alice Sloper, whose stories revolve around physical comedy and absurd situation. Duels also incorporated a part two cinematic style into her work. She experimented with the quintuple nature of comics, using multiple panels to tell a story, toons prefiguring the comic strips. The would become popular in the 20th century. Her use of motion and action within static image showed a keen understanding of visual storytelling, a skill that was relatively rare in Victorian cartooning. In addition to her technical prowess, Doll's work was notable for its inclusion of women in humorous roles, while Victorian society often relegated women to passive domestic positions. Dual's female characters were active participants in the comic world. They were often depicted as witty and sharp, standing up to the buffoonery of characters like Alice Sloper. In a period where women's roles were often downplayed in popular media,